What's up, Court?
What's up?
How are you?
Not too shabby. So I spent majority of the morning working on our list we talked about. And one of those was adding the newsletter to the bottom of all the pages, which is a shit ton of clicks to go through. And I got so mad at myself later this afternoon because I went to go share it and the link is broken. The link for the button didn't save as the template I was using. Yeah.
Good that you laugh at that,
Yeah. Well, that was just a nice way of being like, okay, I'm done for now. We're gonna walk away.
Okay. Oh, so I am more under the weather than I'd care to admit, but I'm gonna do my best to show up for you guys and answer your stuff. Um, but I'm definitely a little slow, very slow today. So we'll just go around the horn, right? In terms of what you guys have going on. Court, I know we met yesterday. Leslie, Taylor, whatever you guys got working on, we'll work on that stuff independently. But once you guys just share a little bit about what you're working on, and we'll tackle that one by one. Whoever wants to go first. Don't all jump at once.
I think Leslie was on mute. You okay there? I'm very happy I'm not the only one that struggles with this. I'm watching you try to get it on mute.
What you got, Leslie? You're still on mute. Let me see. Oh, oh,
Aw.
she's out. Okay, Taylor, what you got? What you working on this evening?
Um, so I finished up all of our automations in our property management software. And the marketing piece is easy. It's just mostly setting up the scheduling. What I'm running into is like I have to send a list to the owners to say, hey, this is everything you need after we've done a like what's it called? I can't even think anymore today. An inspection. Usually I just send a list of all the links to Amazon, but then I realized I don't know if there's a way to build a website and I can build their cart through our website. So I'm getting money off of it. I don't know how to do. That's my next course of
You
action.
talking about like an Amazon referral link?
Not necessarily that. I would rather have a website like with our branding saying owners or, um, just like, I don't even know what you would call it. Cause I say it's amenities within the property. Cause there can be up to 300 things that need to be in there from like the little soaps, the spoons, fork size, whatever. But if there is a way for me to make a website and then send them there and then I can make money off of that. I don't know if it's like drop shipping. I don't know what drop shipping is. I'm still trying to figure that crap out. So that's my next thing I'm trying to figure out. Stupid Google.
So
Just build a
yeah,
website so I can send it to owners. Because what they do right now is the way our company is different than others is others will go buy the stuff in bulk and then upcharge the owners and be like, oh, we had to replace your sheets. They were like $90. I'm like, you paid $10 for those. So the owners go and get them and ship them to their property and we put them in there. There's no upcharge, which saves people a lot of money and they can keep the rentals. Because the whole premise of this business was to cut out a lot of the extra fees and get nickel and dime so they can keep their properties longer and build their investment portfolio. So if they go buy everything or I send them a link for them to be able to purchase it. But if I was able to have a website, I could also market that to other just people who are self-managing to buy their Airbnb amenities. There's nowhere that you can just go and buy Airbnb inventory. You have to like source it all over the place.
yeah, okay. I
So
got. All right. So where are most of these products that you would refer people to?
uh Target, Amazon, and
Okay.
but Walmart sources from all over on their websites. I don't recommend that. They're like if I'm in an emergency and I've got to check in at 4 p.m. and it's noon, I'm going to Walmart to pick something up. But Yeah, because ideally I would like to have a page where it's like, hey, build your house. You've got 4 bedrooms. Well, you need, and it automatically say you need X amount of sheets, X amount of comforters. Here's where we recommend, and then be
Yeah.
able to build it, you know.
How much time do you have to sift through all the product ideation?
Oh, I've already got that done, so it's taken me about 3 weeks.
Okay. Yeah, I was gonna say that's a lot of stuff. All right, so what you're short term gonna do, you're gonna build the Shopify store, and you're gonna use a tool called Auto De-essers, right?
Okay.
So Auto De-essers, you can essentially pull a product from Amazon and resell that on your Shopify store.
Thank you. That's what I was hoping for. Okay.
Yeah. Yeah, I've done that before, and it's cool, but like you may have to map, like if the brand who's selling that product remaps that product, or the
Mhm.
inventory goes out, or they rename it or something else, it's gonna fuck up your SKUs on your Shopify store, right? So it's fine if you have it, like you can say, here's our recommended products for whatever. This is a website where you can go and get all of this. That's fine, but you are gonna have to go in and almost manually confirm and import like people's product information and have multiple orders coming in. They may get something that's from somewhere else to them at different times.
That's
Right.
fine. So it's when it's coming to me, and yeah.
But
Um,
you're also gonna have to upcharge whatever
right.
else. So like you're gonna take their product and right, if they're selling sheets for Egyptian cotton sheets for $60 and you want to make $10, you need to sell those for $70, right? So you got that to deal with, but what's stopping them from going to Amazon anyway? Why you could potentially just create a link tree, sign up for Amazon affiliate referral link, and have a link tree with all of your referral links shortened to it, and you could just send them that. That's probably an easier, shorter route that I would take into consideration.
So I've tried that, but there's too many items. And with this pace at what we're growing, it'd be easier to say, hey, go, here's our site, and this is what you need to, you know, these are what we recommend, because it's all recommendation. And if somebody wants something separate out of the box, there's a different, yeah, because with the cleaner side of thing, if they're not using all white sheets and they want to get real crazy with all the decorative comforters and stuff, they have to have 3 of those comforters. They have to have space for it. If they don't have space, they're being charged for a storage charge, because if somebody, the worst case scenario is somebody's kid spills something on a blanket or something and we have to replace it, and you know, it's hospitality standards, so it has to be sanitized. Um, yeah, so anyways, that having a website where I can just say, hey, go on here, this is what we recommend, these are the styles we recommend, because I had somebody put in a bunch of like comforters. I'm like, this is not Tennessee and Gatlinburg, you're not in a log cabin, we're by the beach. I need you to have whites and blues and coastal, because that's what, you know, we're selling the dream of being on vacation. So I like the Auto DS. I have a team we just hired and put in place. They are just there to honestly handle any of our SEO and all of this stuff. So if I can help set it up and guide them on what they have to do, I'm more just going to direct them once it's set up.
Yeah, go check out that tool and just make sure that it's the right one
Okay.
for you. You can click around while we're doing it. Leslie, welcome back.
Can you guys hear me now?
Yeah,
Okay.
what's going on?
I've been working on my website. One thing I was going to ask you, I tried Googling it. With Shopify, it does give the option for like different payment options, but I'm specifically looking for having it bill monthly. I found a little bit online about it, but I think you use that feature. Do you use that on your Shopify website?
Like monthly billing?
Yeah. So
Yeah.
instead of paying like it all up front, they get billed like monthly.
Oh, you're talking about for clients or for you?
Clients.
Yeah, so because my site is built on Squarespace, right? It's a different thing with Acuity. There are so many different plugins on Shopify for like scheduling and coaching. But if you can make it easy for clients to not have to pay up front, that's always what works best, right? That's why, yeah, I have my packages on my website, but for the most part, right, I will always try and defer to just send invoices so that people can just pay as they go, right? Because that makes it easier for you guys. I don't want to pay for a ton of shit up front. You guys don't want to pay for a ton of shit up front, right? Like, who am I to charge that? I don't like that, so I don't want it either. But you need to give people both because you may experience getting burnt, right? Like I have, or people not paying, right? Like one of your previous clients had not done for a while. And I think that you should give them options. I think having
So
options is good.
how do you do the invoice option? Do you just say, hey, like,
So
obviously they're not going to sign up on the website for that, right?
yeah, I mean, I've had people sign up on the website, or generally I try to have my one call to action just be like, hey, if you want to learn more or like work on something, book a call, right? And I just redesigned my website now to the point where like there's a new page for all services, intro call, 30-minute call, 60-minute call, and group coaching, right? To the point where whatever you want to learn about, boom, there it is. Okay. But when somebody does an intro call, I'll give them the opportunity, say, hey, you know, if you're ready to go and it's a fuck yeah for you, right? I'll give you a discount because I'm about to go back and do some work, and I'll send you an invoice you can pay as you go, right? And then I'll give them the member rates, right? If they sign up. So I say I'm offer this to you once, right? Boom, $75 for 60 minutes, and then $40 for 30-minute calls. You let me know how many you want, but this is the only time I'm going to offer that to you. After that, it'll be on you to become a member or book stuff via the website, et cetera, et cetera. Right. And people are like, okay, well, what do people normally do? And I go, I usually work with people on average for about 3 to 6 months, right? That's where I experience the most growth. People stay as part of our community members for as long as they want. They can hop on group calls, they can come back, et cetera, et cetera, et cetera. Right. So knowing that people are going to come and go as they work on stuff and they don't, I've noticed that this is a good process for me. Have I been burnt with invoices before in the thousands of dollars? Yes, I have, right? Because people say they're going to do it or they just ghost, and I want people to get help, and I misjudge that person's whatever, honor or integrity. So I think that's fine, but I use Wave for invoices. PayPal does invoices, Xero does invoices, Squarespace does invoices, but I use an app called Wave. And they just started charging $16 a month, but they send automatic reminders. I can build out a template, and it's super easy. Links right to my bank account. It does auto deposits. And then I can see, okay, cool. I have whatever, 8 open invoices, and cool, all these different due dates. Then when somebody makes a payment, I just kick back that due date so that they're still getting hit 7, 3, and whatever days before and after.
Okay.
I'm pretty bad at that. Like I'm not a Nazi when it comes to like enforcing that stuff because I don't do this for money. I do it because I enjoy it. I like helping people with business. But like some of my former business coaches were like, no, you need to be charging more. You need to be on them. You need to cancel sessions. You need to like just fucking cut people off and do this. And I'm like, yeah, that's not really me. Like I don't care. So you need to find a good like boundary in terms of what what it is that you're going to offer. But the first time that you get burnt, you're going to be like, fuck, that sucks.
Yeah, no, I've already been burnt and it sucked. So,
Yeah. Yeah.
okay.
Yep. But Klarna, excuse me, Klarna is really good. Sezzle, Afterpay. Like if you can incorporate payment links into your checkout process, it's going to
I
help you.
guess I'm just not sure how that works because I do have, I believe it's Afterpay or something on there. But I want to make sure Like, let's say they sign up for a 15-week program, like they're not going to pay that over a year. I guess I'm just not sure how I would get paid for that.
Yeah, it better be, they better pay as you're providing services. So like, I think Klarna, for instance, I just bought a bunch of shit off Amazon, right? And it gave me the option to use Klarna, right? So I had to buy a printer and a fucking CAC reader and a bunch of dog stuff. It was like $300, right? And I was like, oh, cool. Just one click Klarna. And it was like, cool, we're gonna split your payment over 4 weeks, and your first payment is right due today. It was like whatever, $86. And I was like, okay, it's better than spending $300, and there's no interest added to it. So I was like, fucking whatever. Like, yeah, charge me $86 every week. That's way better. That makes more sense. So just having that tool, there's a huge psychology into it that it will create a higher purchase amount. So there's a lot of research about that. So like these apps, right? Sezzle, Afterpay, Klarna, whatever. People will purchase more because they feel like they're actually paying less.
Hmm.
Right. So find a way to add those to your Shopify and checkout process. Use ChatGPT to incorporate that, because what is the program that you're selling?
Um, so it's a minimum of a 15-week program or like a 52-week program that they
Okay.
could do.
Okay, perfect. And what are the prices for that?
My cheapest is 1,500, and I honestly don't know my most expensive if it's like 3 or 4. I don't know, but
Perfect.
1,000, yeah.
So would you want to pay $1,500 for a program right now?
I mean, for me, I'd probably want to break it up.
Right. Everyone would, right? If I said, okay, you can either pay me $1,500 right now, or you can pay me $1,800, but that's broken up. Every 2 months, you'll pay $600 for 6 months.
Yeah,
What would you pick?
to pay every couple months.
Even though it's a couple $100 more, right?
I mean, normally I would like to save money and pay up front, but like literally right now I would be like, no, I need to like break it down.
But you're dealing with like majority of people's thinking, right? Majority of
Mhm.
people thinking is, yeah, I would probably not want to spend all of that money up front, and then I would probably want to pay a little bit more, but have my payments be broken up, right? Because who knows? So use that kind of psychology to your benefit, right? Don't charge people all that stuff up front, but make it easy on them. But also, you're gonna make them pay more, right, for not paying you up front.
Yeah.
Make sense?
Hmm.
So see how you can work those payment subscriptions into your business model, and then send me those links, because I know we're talking at some point in the next few days.
Hmm. Okay. Sounds good. Thank
Okay.
you.
All right. Court, what's going on?
Well, I know we talked yesterday, but I'm just doing a whole grammar check and link check through the website now. I've done a lot of work even from yesterday. Um, and I'm about to work on the copy for the about page. I don't enjoy talking about myself much, so that's why it's also been on the back burner. And then even since all the work just this morning, I was thinking that I might scrap everything I did on the offerings page and do potentially see how Calendly works. Because I looked at that a little bit better today. And so you can embed the schedule and checkout onto your page. So they'd go to the offering page, the big main one, and it would be still right there as it is set up. It would just be on Calendly instead of checking out through Squarespace. And one of the reasons why I was thinking about that is because thinking about how to set up automations, if I have products versus services, they're going to be separate automations, but I don't think I can get Squarespace to distinguish this fulfillment email goes to services, this fulfillment email goes to product. So if I want products to boom and add, I need to separate them. So,
Yeah, welcome to the dark side of Squarespace, and you're just like,
yeah.
literally,
Yeah.
you couldn't make this more difficult. So I feel your pain. Squarespace doesn't have pretty much any third-party integrations that work well and talk with each other. So like, yeah, you could embed Calendly on Squarespace, but there's no way you would be able to induce an automation, right?
Yeah.
Squarespace's automations, it's its own little segue, in my opinion, but you can pretty much only build one.
Mm-hmm.
You
Mm-hmm.
can't build separate ones for each product. And
Yeah.
you will see that and you're just like, who thought this was a good idea? Right?
Right. Well, and like I see that, but it's also that crux where it's like, okay, well, I could sit here and change everything and change the site I'm on, or this is the quickest ever I've built a site. I can just roll with it. And when it really becomes a big issue, then I'll be able to have the money to dive into some of these other things and maybe even just pay somebody to build something out. Because I know WordPress is also really great, WordPress.org, but it's only great if you have somebody who can help build it. Because I've tried and it's just not.
Agreed. However, comma, that being said, I do think that Squarespace is the best at some things.
Yeah.
Okay. Which is annoying. So, and trust me, I went through this whole process last week of being like, fuck it, I'm building CK Collective on Shopify. I've had enough, right? And then I calmed down over a couple days and I was like, no, you're not gonna do that. It's like,
Mm.
you're just not gonna do that. You're gonna simplify what it is you have and make it easy, right?
Yeah.
Me having been in business now for 5 years, I do the best, close the most business, and help the most people when I just encourage people to book a free intro call, right?
Mhm.
I think that you should kind of have your prices on there. I thought about not having my prices on there. But I think that my current prices on the website reflect what I feel like I am worth. But helping the right people, I will come down to a more comparable thing. But lower than those prices that I've offered you guys, I've noticed if I offered less than that, I get a lower quality of client and I get
Mhm.
people that just don't care as much, right? For
Yeah.
instance, I've been working with this guy for 2 years and I think that I let him book like 52 sessions at like $40, right? And this guy will never reschedule stuff. He'll miss a bunch of sessions and then he'll pretty much only Venmo me. He won't even go make a payment on the invoice. He'll just send me a Venmo, then I have to do a manual payment. And then he's just not making like the changes consistently that we've been working on for 2 years. And it's frustrating, right?
Yeah.
So I've seen a price point of saying, okay, if I charge this, it's enough to make people listen and pay attention and then actually put in the work. And it's not that I want to charge necessarily even that amount, but it's like you have to charge enough that's going to make people command their attention and put in the effort and work, right?
Mhm.
But your website should go to supporting the best simplification of that, right? Your website's good. I don't think you need to let your mind go about wandering onto WordPress. Squarespace gets better every single year. They are consistently getting better. And I think that your stuff you've designed on Printful, the stuff you've designed on Printify with the apparel is fucking awesome. And I think that your services, if you do sign up for Acuity, I know Acuity is like $61 a month. It's kind of a fucking nightmare, but it
Yeah.
helps, right? All you need to do is get one booking per month and you've paid for it, right?
Yeah, Calendly though is very similar to Acuity. I've booked with people through it and I've used it in previous years. I mean, they've just improved, and it's $10 a month for unlimited calendars, unlimited um appointment types. So, and I can still do my Google Meet, which means I'm limiting my cost, my overhead with Zoom right now at least.
Yeah.
So that might be, but you know, it's also like Squarespace also has that ability for me to do that paywall blog. So reader sponsored
What do you
blog
mean? Oh, yeah, yeah. Okay.
where you can charge for sections of your actual blog that you publish, kind of like what was it, Substack. And you can do courses on there and memberships. So yeah, downsides, but upsides, considering the grand scheme of what I want to push out eventually. But
I think that makes sense, right? For you using Calendly. My thing of why I'll probably stick with Acuity is hopefully they change and then make it a little bit easier. I hate
yeah.
that people have to like purchase a package and get a code and then go back to the same thing and do a booking a second time to use the code to zero out their fucking balance. What? Ridiculous. I don't know who was in the boardroom and being like, yeah, that's perfect. Make them do it twice. That fucking idiot. Um, then once I get back in the civilian world and I go work at a company like this, I'm gonna be like, are you guys fucking crazy? Like what? So I can't wait for that. I want to become like an angel investor and just go help companies grow. Like I think I would do really well with that. But for you, using Calendly is going to be super simple. I just don't think that for me, if I want to send somebody an invoice, right? Because I talked with a new client and boom, they signed up for 12 sessions. They want 30 minutes and I'm going to send them an invoice. Cool. Boom. I go onto Squarespace, I go into Acuity and I just type their name because Acuity is great with keeping a customer's name. So like if I want to add Taylor back in or add this new person in, they've already booked a call. So I just type in whatever, Jordan, and his information pops up. And then I click, okay, 12 times, boom, every Sunday at 11:30 a.m. and then schedule, right? Now he's
Mhm.
on the calendar every single Sunday 12 times with like one click of a button. That's why it's easy for me, and I don't mind sending a manual invoice. Now he gets to pay over time and he can reschedule his own events, whatever, right? So when I have a meeting,
Yeah.
I can look at his invoice. I go, hey man, yeah, you got to make a payment for this thing, right? I
Yeah.
know I know that people are getting the reminders about that. And if it's a problem, whatever. But um you'll figure out the system that works best for you. Calendly's a good, cheap, easy way to do it.
Mhm.
But use
It's
it.
at least a start. It's at least a start that doesn't cause me to have like, you know, $100, $200 a month when the clients aren't quite there to support that kind of business payment yet.
Yeah.
But I also don't do coaching in the sense like you and some of the other people in this group do coaching either. You know, people might book something and it might need a follow-up, but it's not the same sort of
Yeah.
setup either. Yeah. I don't know.
Whereas like your stuff is more transactional, right? So you're
Yeah.
gonna have
Mhm.
kind of coming in for one thing, and that's
Mhm.
fine too, right? Like ultimately, what you could do is you could create like a link tree, and
Mhm.
I just deleted my Stan Store because I was pretty sick of how much Stan Store didn't work well with my website. So I went back to a link tree, okay, and my link tree actually does better over time with getting people to what they're most interested in.
Mhm.
Okay. So like Sandstore will track your links, but Linktree, I can see that, okay, over the past 120 days, book a 30-minute call has actually been my most important link, right? And
Yeah.
if I want to see how many conversions that's had, cool, fine, whatever, right? But I can see that, okay, past 3 months, I have 2,500 views, 1.7 clicks, And then 68% click rate. Cool.
Mhm.
Right. That to me shows that, okay, it's working. People are doing whatever. It's pretty good, right?
Yeah.
So as long as you are sending people to a place, that's fine. Because just sending someone to your website, right? They may not know what it is that they're looking for. But if they click
Mhm.
Linktree and they're like, oh, 30-minute energy healing, oh, animal healing, right? Oh, sacred animal, whatever, right? I forget all the services.
Yeah, it's okay.
But it's been a long weekend. Uh, but yeah, that eventually you'll be able to like list out your services so that you can tell what's most interesting. So now that it's February 2nd, I'm gonna check back on my link tree March 1st, and I'm gonna see what people clicked on the most over that month, and then I
Mhm.
make stuff over, right? Turns out most people aren't even wanting to book a free intro call. They don't even click on that. They just want to view all services. Why? I don't know. So that's something interesting for me, right? And now,
Yeah.
geez. So now when
Well, I know I didn't do the free intro because I had watched you on social enough to know what I was gonna get myself into. And I like doing coaching, it wasn't new. So I knew what an intro call was going to entail and I didn't want to waste your time or my time. So I just fucking booked the thing.
yeah,
So I know for me, like
right?
that's one of the reasons why I didn't do an intro call.
Yeah, and that's awesome, right? I always love um that, but like I just simplified my site. Not much. There's really no big change, but like I simplified the site. Hey, it's just
Mhm.
personal tactics, right? Like this is what I do. And then let's get right to the point. I'm trying to get people right to an intro call just in my whatever second or third block, right? Boom. Let's get people on there. And then short, quick bio, right? Kind of an intersection of your personal and professional life, right? A cool quote from one of my favorite books, and then update, kind of learn more, testimonials, contact, whatever, right?
Mhm.
So this is all pretty simple and straightforward. I think it's still a lot for a homepage, but it looks a little bit better, right? To the point where I was trying to sell somebody a $2,000 package on the homepage, and it didn't feel right, right? So instead of taking all of that info that was on the all services page, I
Mhm.
built out individual pages now to the point where it's like, hey, intro call, 30-minute call, 60-minute call, group coaching. What are you most interested in? Right? Like that's where you're gonna find that. And those pages are simple, easy, awesome. Right?
Mhm.
To the point where you can either book your individual session or you can book a package, right? For the most part, anyone that books an intro call or just contacts me, including that little like WhatsApp widget that I found that I think is pretty cool. Now somebody can just text me right from my fucking website, right? I'm trying to make it simple, easy, awesome for you,
Oh,
right?
neat.
So like you have a problem, you have a question, just fucking let me know. But that's my business. That's what works for me. I've seen other coaches that you have to book straight to the website, you have to do this, blah, blah, blah. But I think that a nice hybrid approach of like having the system if people want to do it, but then also being able to like go the distance and do the extra work for your clients, like
Mhm.
shows that you care, right? 'Cause at the end of the day, you're trying to build trust, you're trying to build empathy, and you're trying to show people that like, hey, I'm not just a selfish dude. I'm actually just trying to help people build businesses and get better, right? That's what we're here for. So that kind of stuff will show when you make your website more personal in that aspect. Fair?
Yeah. Mhm.
Okay. What you got?
Who?
And so the the group coaching as well, there's a brand new page for that. Okay. I'm not going to have time to do meetings on Thursday now, with French class being ridiculously long and complex for the next 4 months of my life. So my time is going to be limited, especially because we're not allowed to bring our phones into the building and all this other stuff. But I will mostly be doing group coaching on Sundays. Maybe there will be some on Saturdays. If I can do it on a Thursday, because I have a 4-day weekend, I will. But I will keep you guys posted there, because now it's free to RSVP, right? As far as building out some of these tools and everything else, and the reason why I'm going to stick on Squarespace is because I've already built out several courses that will go into like the masters group, or like the members group. It'll be like a master course. So like the designing apparel on Printful, right? The building a Shopify store, all of these little things, I have it all written down in like 6 little pages of like all different kind of videos and stuff that I want to show you guys. There's a lot. So that's ultimately what I'm going to build, right? And then I'll charge whatever, $25 a month. And for people that don't want coaching, we'll be like, cool, here's all the stuff I've ever known and the stuff that I teach, stuff that's not on TikTok, and then go for it, right? Go at pace. So
Yeah,
Squarespace- Huh?
I am curious how you do the designs for your apparel company, because I know you mentioned, what was this, like Monday something? In Discord as a prompt, but yeah, those designs are cool, but also like they just like wrap around the whole thing. So it's like, how do you do that? Not that those would be some of my designs, but they are cool, and I think it's
Right.
neat to learn that, because maybe I use some techniques.
Yeah, I don't know. I just like making some stuff like that, and it feels good. So I use Inked Joy, right?
Okay.
And that's pretty awesome. So I would say I can show you that, but like I'll also show you that on the next thing. I think you should stick with Printful and Printify for now. With Inkjoy, there's more of a manual component to it. It's not always super easy or like the best.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I think what's in my mind is just not necessarily where to get the product or how to get it on the site per se. It's because I'm not entirely the artist creative in the sense of like actually designing the designs per se. Like I have this idea of what I want the design to be, and then I almost need someone's help more artistically to like translate it. So it's like mine's more like, how do I get some of the graphics that I have in my mind actually somewhere where I can actually like use the thing without charging, like someone who makes logos or something like that. And I've been playing with a couple of the AI things, but I don't think they're quite right. But I'm also still super new, so I probably just haven't figured it out yet.
Yeah. I can walk you through this, but Printful and Printify are great, right? Because if somebody orders on your website, it gets routed right to them and you're done, right? Like no whatever. So maybe not your top priority. I like design now, but we can worry about all over print stuff and more of the manual integrations, because Inkjoy does not work well with Squarespace. But if you want to go that route, we can find that route. So stick with what you got, because you're crushing it.
Thank you.
All right, you guys got anything else?
Yeah, what was that? You said the drop shipper thing. I didn't write it down. I thought I saved it on my laptop. I didn't.
It's
Inkjoy?
auto de-essers.
Auto answers.
Yeah. Right. Or you can just ask ChatGPT. There may be a new one, but auto de-essers.
Okay.
is it. You will have to use that on Shopify. You will have to build on Shopify and use that on Shopify, but
Well, I have this Shopify thing set up and I was gonna go a different route, but as I'm sending out these lists to people and like giving, some of them are my parents' age and they don't understand how to order stuff off Amazon without their kids doing it. Cause there was one house I'm like waiting to get set up. I called him today. I was like, Mr. Tom, like, what are we doing? He goes, oh yeah, I've gotta wait for my son to come out next month. I'm like, dude, you could have told me that. I'll say, I mean, there's one-offs. I'll sit on the phone and help them. I just don't want to set that precedent that every time you need something, we're gonna sit on the phone together and do it. So there, yeah, that's what, when I was thinking about it today, at the gym with Colby, I was like, I think I just need a site so I can just do it myself. Then I'll take a look at that. Well, thank you.
or you
You
could
don't
just
sound as bad.
Huh?
You sound like you're feeling okay.
no, I feel like death.
Well, you don't look like it. Well, there you go.
Yeah, I was not expecting this. Um,
Are you like doing hot showers and like
Yeah.
steaming
And
and all
hydrating.
that stuff?
Yeah.
Okay, good.
yeah, I was not expecting this to be this bad. I don't know. I might have the flu and doing nicotine withdrawals. I don't know, but like it hurts to swallow. My tongue is all like broken and rough. My teeth hurt. I just have a sore throat. I'm coughing all the time. My muscles feel like tense, but I can't make a fist. And then I have like the worst headache of all time. I have zero empathy right now, and I feel extremely irritable.
So
Um,
don't message Kim about anything,
I'm
expecting
I'm
feelings.
I'm fine now, but Ashley like called me earlier because she's at a bachelorette party this weekend, and I was like, I love you, but I literally cannot fucking talk to you today.
Poor girl.
No,
I love you,
said,
but leave me alone.
I'm sorry, I am dealing with this. I will fucking talk to you in a week or so. But yeah, it's like hot flashes and then upset stomach, and then I'm exhausted, but I can't focus. But I'm like irritable. It's crazy.
It's withdrawals and you're
Yeah.
detoxing.
What this is like day 4.
Hmm.
When does it get better? Because it's been like this for the past 4 days.
I
I
feel
mean,
like you have another week.
Of this?
Yeah.
yeah. It's usually 2 to 3 weeks that somebody goes through these kind of withdrawals. Suck it up, Buttercup. You got this. You can go through worse.
I don't feel like you have 2 to 3 weeks. I feel like you have a week, but you personally, but if I were to tune in a little bit, but yeah, I mean, it's withdrawals and it's detoxing. That's why I was like, open your detox pathways. If you got your greens from your powder, I know there's a serving size, but you can muscle test, and if you don't know how to muscle test, I can teach you, and you'll probably need more this way. So it'll help your liver to just flush all that out. Because I don't give a shit what they say is actually in there. There's more in there than what they say there is. And my personal strong opinion and all the my work and my sensing into things like tobacco and marijuana and cacao and all of those plant medicines, it's not the nicotine itself that's the problem. It's everything else that they put in there because you don't get addicted off of tobacco and just nicotine. You get addicted because of the reason that you keep taking it over and over and over, and then it becomes a habit. And then you are essentially abusing. And plants like tobacco and marijuana, they aren't the full like enlightenment sort of plant like ayahuasca is. They are meant to be here to help teach you a lesson. So if you abuse it, it's going to abuse you back. So if you have a positive relationship where you use tobacco in ceremonial senses, you're not gonna fucking get addicted. Right? But when it comes to things like Zen and tobacco products, it's all the other shit that they put in it.
No.
That is causing them to do. So it's like detox pathways. And you're
mean,
just in withdrawal. So
yeah, I
you have to
agree.
go back to the reason you were like, hey, 3 a.m. behind a machine gun. Okay, what was that actual like? Hey, I've been behind those machine guns. Like, don't get me wrong, I've done that. Maybe not at 3 a.m., but I've done that. I can get it. I can get the variety of scenarios you could have been, but it's like, what was that trigger to do it? And then it becomes. I bet if you look at the last 2 years, especially within the first 6 months, you'll find there's a trigger every time you grabbed it. You
Yeah.
felt some sort of emotion and you grabbed it, and then it became an every time thing. And it just all blended together, right? It's just like a domino effect.
I completely agree. And I think a lot of that was stress, right? Or sleep deprivation or being away in courses and lack of
Mhm.
sleep and tough stuff. And the only source of real dopamine that you would have would be to throw in a fucking lip and have your mouth be on fire because that keeps you awake
Yeah.
and it gets you amped up, right? So you throw one and you throw two or maybe three, and now you have 30 to 40 milligrams,
Yep.
right, in your mouth. You can see over time that that starts to like accumulate to you waking up and throwing one in while you walk the dogs in the morning or being on a call and fucking spitting and doing this. And
Mhm.
just when I put one in the other day in class and like it hurt my tooth, right? And I was like, F this, I'm done. I spit it out, there's blood. And I was like, I'm done. I'm done. Right. Because I put him in the same spot. So clearly I was chafing. But I have not felt this way in a very long time. Like I am very uncomfortable. I
Mhm.
not been able to like work out or catch my breath or think clearly or straight, right? I'm tired, but then I wake up and I'm sweating. I had a bunch of magnesium and spirulina earlier, and then I had bone broth, and then I laid down, and then I
Mhm.
woke up and I puked right in my plants. And I was like, wow, this needs to
Mhm.
stop, right?
It's ginger and peppermint along with some of that.
Yeah. So I don't know. I need to learn more about plant medicine because I don't think that nicotine is necessarily a bad thing, but clearly I was abusing it as an addiction and device to cope with stress, which was only enhancing anxiety and
Mhm.
stress in the long term. And now I'm paying for the repercussions of my body purifying itself. But yeah, it's interesting.
Yeah, the other thing I would encourage is to do a double check on the words that run through your mind at this moment too.
Yeah,
Just, the whole like I'm paying for it now. This sucks. This is shitty. I feel like shit. And I
yeah,
get it. You do. But, remember the very first group call, I was like, hey, sorry, I'm coughing. I have a cold. I know exactly why I have the cold. I know exactly what I said to give myself this cold.
yeah.
Yeah, make sure you're not compounding what you're already feeling. I would do an affirmation personally of like something along the lines of um body, I love that you are capable of caring for me and you are resetting everything, and I love how powerful you are and you know exactly what to do. Something along that lines, whatever that feels best for you. But that might also help a little bit. Instead of going, I just threw up and this fucking sucks because your body's gonna be like that's probably what you said, right? Yeah.
Oh, for sure. For sure. This fuck sucks. No, I totally agree. And I am 99 out of 100 times right there with you. And I am not being a good steward of my own advice. I did put it into my Think Up app this morning. I went for a walk. I said, I have zero withdrawal symptoms or whatever. I am over nicotine, blah, blah, blah. I listened to that stuff. That was good. But the other times throughout today, I'm like, I fucking hate this. This sucks. Over this. Whatever. But
Yeah.
yeah, let me just go to sleep and try to get through this next week, but I'll be okay. But if you guys have any questions, just hit me up in the meantime and we'll touch base soon, okay?
Yeah.
All
Go
right.
feel better.
Thanks for your pep talk.
You're welcome.